Okay, so we're going live. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the SRT webinar series. My name is Alfonso, and I'm from the SRT team. And today I'm really happy here to present our webinar study in France. I'm really glad to introduce our speakers for today's webinar. We have Leah from Audencia Business School. Hello, Leah.
Hi,
We
nice to
have
meet you.
Isabel from Burgundy School of Business.
Hello.
We have Pauline from ISX School of Management. Hello, Pauline.
Hello, everyone.
And we have Tim from the American University in Paris. Hello, Tim.
Hi there.
Well, very important. I'd like to ask you to send your questions through the chat box located on the right-hand side of your screen. My colleague Basil will be there taking note of your questions to be answered at the end during the Q&A bit of the presentation. Also remind you that this presentation will be recorded in case someone has to leave early, or for those who couldn't join us live today, it will be available on demand. We'll start first with a general presentation around the study in France, where you'll learn information about why choosing France as a study destination, application processes, and tips for future students. And then we'll move on to the individual presentations from each university. So to begin, I'll give the floor to Leah.
Thank you, Alfonso. Okay. Okay, so as you already know now, my name is Leah Penobert. So I'm the International Admissions Manager for Latin America at Audencia Business School. So thanks again very much for being here with us today. It's lovely to be here. Thank you to the SRT team as well for setting up this presentation. So if you are watching us today, it means that you are interested in studying in France, or that you may be considering different options and you are hesitating between different countries maybe. So maybe you'll have a better vision of France and of our higher education system after today's session. So did you know, for example, that France is the fourth most popular country in the world for students in international mobility? Actually, France is also the first non-English speaking host country in the world. So there are many reasons for that. Let's see here some of them. So in addition to, well, its long history of high quality education, of course, we'll talk about that later. France is one of the world's most active markets for business opportunities, and it has access to the large European single market as well. In many sectors, the French economy is among the strongest in the world, and France is among the leading industrial economies in the aerospace and railway sectors, automotive, cosmetics, luxury goods, insurance, pharmaceuticals, power, and so on. I can give you a few examples of the most famous French companies that have excelled both at home and across its borders. I'm sure you know L'Oréal, Christian Dior, Peugeot, AXA, Hermès, etc. As for your budget and your student experience, the government also works hard to support students financially. To help offset the cost of rent, students can apply for financial assistance and receive an allowance each month. Moreover, most museums, most cultural attractions are either free to students or they will offer significant discounts to them. And another reason to visit France is that you would be living in the center of fine arts, literature, gastronomy, fashion, but also, of course, culture. Our country is home to more than 40 UNESCO World Heritage Sites and diverse landscapes that attract visitors from all around the world, really. So here you will be immersed in a country steeped in history and culture. You will have a great multicultural experience and a thriving student life.
I think we have a problem and we lose Tim, so we can move forward to your presentation. Isabel?
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Hi. Thank you for being here today. And so I'm going, this slide won't be the funniest one, because I'm going to explain the application process. So sorry that we don't have any pictures, nice pictures about that. So let me check. Yeah, so application process for our school will be almost the same. We'll have an application online. So you will have to connect to our website and to start an application online. Most of the time, you will have to provide documents such as a statement of goals, cover letter, CV, transcript of records, copy of diplomas. We require high school diploma for our bachelor program. So if you are still at school, you can join an enrollment certificate to see that you are about to have this diploma. About the requirements, most of the time we require an English test level because these bachelors are fully taught in English. So it could be from 6 to 6.5. I have to check because I don't know the figures of all the schools, sorry. IELTS, Duolingo, for example, from 95 to 105. Beside the application file, so you will have most of the time an interview, so 15 to 20 minutes. It will depend on the school, but here is about to check your motivation. Besides the academic background that we can check in the application form, we want to know who you are, why you want to come and study in France, in our school. So you will have to explain this during the interview if you have one. About the price of I put everything in this slide, so you can see that tuition fees can be from 8,200 to 33,920 for another school. What else? So we do provide scholarship. Depends from 25% to 50% discount on the first year of the program. Usually it's it can be merit-based scholarship, but we also have one school provided base need scholarship, so it can go up to 100%. What else can I say? We do provide bachelor French track. So for this one, you will have to provide also French language test from B1 to B2, depending on the school. And I guess I give to apply. So application fees, 3 school are for 100 euros, sorry, and the other one is 50 euros, sorry. I'm tired, it's late. So from 50 to 100 euros to apply. So very simple application file. Just one interview, and then you will get the answer within a few weeks to know if you are admitted or not to our school. I guess that's it.
Great, thank you, Isabel. So my name is Tim Rogers. I'm just going to run you for a few minutes through an introduction to the French education system. I think above all else, picking up on something that Isabel just mentioned, France is absolutely one of the most welcoming destinations for international students around the world. Not only for the quality of education and the breadth of education, but for the additional things that all students look for. Amongst these things are such really important things such as health insurance, the ability to have the legal right to work, paid internships, and also the ability, depending on the type of accommodation you're in as a student, have that subsidized by the French government. It is a very, very welcoming environment for students from all over the world. Excuse me. About 13% of students coming into France are international. That excludes the EU, so those are non-EU students. At the moment, there are about 3,500 institutions of higher education or research in France. They are arranged across a breadth of styles of institutions and also levels of undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate education. You will have all heard of the very famous, of which we have a number here today, the Grandes Écoles. We also have public institutions, public universities, and then specialized institutes focusing in on different areas such as art, architecture, and medicine. A quick word on public universities. We have 70 public universities in France. They are almost all multi-faculty and multi-layered, so that includes taught undergraduate programs, graduate programs, and postgraduate programs. And for those of you who are here today who may even look at the postgraduate opportunities, they also offer postdoctoral work as well. The thing to watch in the public university sector in France is that, unlike a number of other systems in Europe, you will almost certainly be faced with a situation where you are being taught in French. There is an increase in the number of English language programs being offered in the country, and all of the 4 institutions here this evening offer programs in English. But in the public university sector, it will be the exception. The majority of students will be taught in French. What's very attractive about the public university system in France, not only obviously the quality, but also the price. The price is very competitive, with the licence or the undergraduate degree being under 3,000 euros a year, and the graduate program taught master's degrees being under 4,000. The Grandes Écoles are the absolute elite institutions. These are world-class institutions that compete with universities all over the world. France has done particularly well in a ranking that was just released today of the top 200 universities under 50 years old. And in those 200, France actually has 24 universities. So really very, very high quality amongst young institutions. Engineering and business schools are the real concentration of the Grandes Écoles, although not exclusively. And here we see, for many international students, the great concentration of the English language programs. Most of the Grandes Écoles are very, very well ranked and well regarded, and appear in all of the international rankings for the quality of their teaching as well as their research. Here you'll instantly see a different fee regime, up to a maximum of about 30,000 euros. There's a whole range throughout the system there. France is an absolutely wonderful country, and that's a really important phrase from somebody who's not French and is actually from Britain. So it is the most incredible country in the world for the absolute variety of the places where you can live, the cities in which you can study, and the opportunities that they afford you. For those who only think that France is Paris, I can absolutely guarantee you that that is not the case. There are interesting cities and towns, all of which host universities and colleges all over the country. In the southwest, there's a number of very famous institutions around Toulouse, the same with Nice. Lyon is regarded as a student city that is world-class, both in terms of the quality of its institutions, but also the quality of its student life. What you will find is the further you go away from Paris, the cheaper the cost of living will be. It may be that you have slightly different opportunities for work and internships, but for students that at least are trying to manage their budget, it is very worthwhile to look at places outside of the main city. And just one final slide. So just remember that there's a very set application process. And one of the wonderful things about higher education in France is that the representative body, Campus France, will be able to help you and offers you as much information as possible on the application process.
Okay, so now it's my turn. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Tim. Nice to hear you talking about France. So let's talk about employability. I'm sorry if I say it wrong in English. And life in France as an international student. I know you have always, and that's pretty normal, a lot of questions about the cost of living and a lot of stuff. So I will try. Sorry about that. I will try to answer everything I can. So I will start with employability. So when it comes to deciding where to study, the criterion of employability becomes an increasingly important factor. Of course, you want to have a work, you want to study, but then you want to stay. I'm sorry, someone is calling me, and I'm sorry about that. So, an important fact is that in the Global University Employability Ranking 2020, France is ranked second place worldwide. And in particular, the grandes écoles, which are, as Tim said, like elite French institutions, are very, very well ranked in the employability rankings. So normally what we see is that we have a high level of employment rate. So this is a French, how do I say the French survey about the employment rate after business school. So we see that within 6 months after graduation, the net employment rate is about 81, 80, let's say 82%. So you will have a job after your studies. This is the most important criterion above all. No, if you go to study a bachelor's, there's pretty much a great chance to have a good job afterwards. It can be in France and it can be, of course, in another country. I have an average salary. So this is a French-based survey, not ESEG, not my school, but in depends a lot of approximately 35k, so 35,000 euros a year. If you are a manager, we'll talk more or less about the same, 36k first job after 6 months. So I guess Isabel mentioned that we have fees between, let's say, 10,000 and 35,000 a year. So just to say it's a pretty good investment. Sorry. You start, you do a 3 years bachelor, and then you get a job. It's pretty much with a very good salary. So this is pretty much important at the moment of deciding which country you will go and study. So just to have a quick view of some big important companies in France, I think we all have alumni, so ex-students in all these big companies. As I said, it's pretty much easy when you have a good bachelor degree from a grande école to get a job. So it's probably, it's likely that you work in this kind of companies. This is a statistic from my school, so business school, just to show the diversity of where you can arrive, what you can do after business school. As you see, and I think I can talk for Audencia and for every school here, we have a very, very big diversity of jobs. Obviously, we are talking about sales, we're talking about project management, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about finance, we're talking about communication, and depending on the school, some of them are very strong in supply management, for example, others in marketing, others in finance. So this is something you should take into account at the moment of choosing your school. Just a small promotion, but this is not the point. But in my school, ESET graduate take 91% get a job within 2 months after graduation. So this is very, very high, and the average salary is 42,000. We have a big international dimension like Audencia, like everyone here, and so we have a lot of alumni in abroad. Now I'm going to talk about life in France. So La Vie en Rose, yes. So normally people going, and especially from Latin America, I think going to Europe and especially to France have something very particular with France and like a dreamt life, and I hope you'll have it, with La Vie en Rose and the Art de Vivre. So I put some stereotypes which are all true. Maybe not the frog and the escargot, but maybe everything else. We have a lot of vineyards. We have a lot of great wine tasting, great restaurants, great nightlife because you're all students. We have a very good quality of life, and I think this is something that the student discover and like. I have a video, but I think the format won't allow me to show it, Alfonso, about life in France.
No, it won't be possible to see it. We can just share it later with the students in the chat.
Yeah, I will be happy to share it. So basically, it shows some parts of France, and as Tim said, we have some different cost of living. So I put quite the same amount per month. I think 1,750 for smaller cities. So I won't go into details, but this is what you need to have in Paris. As Leah said, the government helps students a lot, especially with the housing part. So they will give you about 30-40% of what costs your apartment. They will help you with that. So this is called here the cap, just for you to have an idea of what is that. But you have to have at the end 1,000 euros per month in Paris, and I put 750 in smaller city, which so we are talking about Nantes, I think, Lille, Bordeaux, Rennes, I don't know who's here, Rouen, Marseille, etc. This is something you should take a look at, because we have a new thing thanks to Campus France, which is the government entity for studies in France. They created what we call the Bienvenue en France label. So it distinguishes the institutions that have good reception, so buena acogida in Spanish, reception measures for international students. So you can take a look at the school with 3 stars, which are the most welcoming schools. So in France. So this is good this is in particular for international students. So at the moment of arriving in France, you need to have some help, obviously, about housing, about visa sometimes, about the CAF, the subsidy I was talking about. So this is a very important label now. Just some pictures, and I think I'm done.
Thank you very much, everyone, for this introduction on France. We're looking forward to visiting. And now we'll move on to the individual presentations, and we'll begin with you, Pauline, with ISAC. So,
Thank you very much, Alfonso.
and I'll play your video now. Okay.
Good. So just as an introduction of the video, we are talking about the bachelor degree in 3 countries. I also have one just in France.
European business. Learn and live in 3 European cities: Paris, Barcelona, and Sheffield. Study at 3 AACSB accredited business schools. Gain the ultimate European business student experience over 4 years. International focused, real business applied, and truly multicultural. Study key international business topics, combining theoretical knowledge, practical understanding, and industry relevance. Conduct real consulting projects with real companies. Employability skills and knowledge are embedded within the course and your internship. Experience 3 different cultural and business environments in Spain, France, and England. Spend at least a year in each city with a diverse, multicultural student cohort. You'll graduate from the only degree in Europe offering 3 awards from 3 accredited business schools in 3 countries.
Okay, so thank you for the video. So I'm going to start with YESEC School of Management. We are a business school in France, as you understood already. So important thing, we have three official and the international accreditations, the most recognized one, which are ACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. And as you saw in the presentation of our triple bachelor, all the bachelor we offered with Sheffield and IQS in Barcelona are ACSB. So this is an opportunity if you want to travel a lot in Europe to have a bachelor degree in 4 years, and then I will get into details. A few rankings because I have more or less 7 minutes. So in financial, we are in the Financial Times, in the Economist, in the French one, we are ranked between 8 and 10 in the fourth in the French ones. And depending on the master degree, if you decide to continue with the master degree, we have 12 specialties. So you can stay after the bachelor degree, or obviously you can go elsewhere. Um, and we are all pretty ranked and important thing recognized by the states. So you can validate your degree everywhere in the world. Just to show you the campus we have, so at IESEC we are in Paris and in Lille. We are not in London and Brussels, but it's just to show you that the location is very important. Lille is a very, very nice city, the fifth city of France. We are more or less at 30 minutes far from Brussels and 1 hour and a half in train from London and 1 hour from Paris. If you decide to go and study with us the bachelor degree, you can choose between Paris and Lille. We do it in both cities. So I've talked about the cost of living, so I'm going to move to our alumni. So now we have almost 7,000 students on 2 campus, and we have 10,000 graduates. So this forms the ESL network, which is an alumni association, very important and very big and very powerful that you will keep for all your life. So you meet and you have an easy job and you have connection everywhere in the world thanks to our alumni. Important things when you are in Lille or in Paris doing your bachelor, you will have access to clubs and associations like the sports one, humanitarian one, cultural one. We have more than 50 clubs and associations, so you will have a very nice student life. And I cannot show you the video, but I will share it with you. Basically, this video shows that we have a lot of sports and a lot of arts and a lot of humanitarian activities at ESEG. And from year one, you can access to all of this. We also have an important association, just to finish with association, which is called the International Club, which role is helping students, international students, to arrive in France and to be at ease in France. So important for you, international students, that you will have a buddy system. We'll have a lot of parties. We'll have a trip to the mountains, the Alps, etc. with you as an international student. I talk a bit about the companies. So we have a lot of partner companies at ESEC. We have more than 2,500, if I'm not wrong. A lot are in France, but we also develop a lot of connections with different countries. So actually, right now I'm in Colombia because I'm the head of the Latin America office. So it allows me to know a lot of companies here in Colombia, in Mexico, in every country from Latin America. And so we try to have a full experience. If you want to go back to your country someday, well, we'll be there to help you find a company that recognizes as a school everywhere in the world, is that will recognize obviously your diploma and your quality as a student and as a professional. So the Bachelor in International Business, as I said, it's in Lille, in Paris. So this is, sometimes it will say 3 years. This is a French one, 100% in France, in Lille, in Paris. And sometimes it will say 4 years. So this is a triple one, that's a video I showed, which are in 2 years in France, 1 year in UK, and 1 year in Spain. Tuition fees and admission are the same for both programs. You will always start with the year 1 of Bachelor in International Business in Lille or in Paris in France. So tuition fees for my side, is 11,056 euros per year, and we have merit-based available. So when you apply, I will explain that. Merit-based means we will look at your academic records and also all the things you do outside school to give you a little help from the school. I mentioned that already, but it's very important. We are accredited by the French Higher Education Ministry, so you won't have any trouble with the recognition of your diploma. I don't know how many minutes do I have, but just to say, you will have an international experience. You will have with us free internship. So after every year with us, we have an internship which will allow you to know the companies, to know what you like, what you dislike. This is pretty much important, the internship experience. You also have the possibility to have a university exchange if you don't. 1 minute left. Oh my God. So you can have international experience, internship, and what we study, because it's important, it's management. So finance, marketing, everything you need to know about the company and being a manager in a worldwide company. I cannot go through that, through the program structures, but basically you will learn how to be a good and ethical manager. So these are the internships, the exchange program. You will receive French. This is important. We will help you with the French, and we will give you, it's included, French lessons. About the European Triple Business Bachelor, so if you do your research, we have IESEG in France, IQS in Spain, and Sheffield in UK. So this is a 4-year program. You first enter the Bachelor in International Business, and if you succeed and you are good at it in the first year, we open you the possibility to do the Triple Bachelor. So we already saved the video. This is the organization of the 4 years. IESEG 2 first years, IQS year 3, and Sheffield year 4. How to apply? I'm gonna speed it. So we need your secondary education transcripts, your high school diploma if you have it already, an English test, it can be IELTS, TOEFL, TOEIC, Duolingo, and Cambridge. Duolingo is an online test. I really recommend it because it's quick and cheap. A resume, copy of passport. You will have an online video. We will record you for 5 to 10 minutes, and you can apply on our platform, which is apply.iesec.fr. So as I mentioned already, the fees and the merit-based scholarship, which is up to 25%. You can apply. So we start in September. In France, we almost all start in September, and you can apply. Next session is before March 4th, results on the 17th. And we, as you see, we have a lot of sessions up to until June 30th. I'm done. I'm sorry, Alfonso. I tried to speed it up. This is my email on the right. I guess you recognize me, but you also you can talk to Santiago, which is a Colombian student who studied at IESEG, which is my colleague in Bogota. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm in the first year of my master's degree at BSc. Why don't I show you around the campus? 2 minutes on the clock, let's go. It's been completely rethought and built around the student experience. Welcome to the Lounge, our social hotspot that's always buzzing during breaks and for all our events, like welcome parties and student campaigns. If you need to focus, the Learning Centre is the place to be. It's the nicest place in the school, bright and calm. It's perfect for studying, learning languages in the Kaizen room, or working on group projects. Here, you will also meet with your personal coach to work on your career project, your resume, and your internship. If you feel the need to disconnect, head to the Zen room and zone out for a while. Now come on, let's go up a level. Here is the House of Finance, equipped with Bloomberg technology. And one of our classrooms. We have classes in small groups to allow more interaction with the teacher. Our lecture halls, well, they're reserved for conferences with some of the very best French and international speakers. What about a short break in our green park? It's the perfect place to have lunch in the sun, relax with friends, and study while tanning. It's the good life in Dijon. Off we go again. I'm taking you to the legendary School of Wine and Spirits business, where Burgundy's vineyards reveal their secrets for success. And this is The Hub, a place to meet and talk with BSB staff who will guide and help you with all your administrative needs. Are you a sports fan? Do you need to let off steam between classes? Then you'll love our fully equipped gym, open 7 days a week. And for those of you with an artistic spirit, we even have a dance room and music studio. Welcome to our student club headquarters, where BSB's 25 student clubs prepare events throughout the year to enrich your student life. This is our kitchen. Just like home, have lunch and chill out with friends. To end our tour, join me in the entrepreneurial garden, where we plant genius ideas and grow company spirit. And voila, you've seen it all. So if you're looking for a great place to work in the heart of a vibrant and lively city, a welcoming campus where you can have a unique student experience, then Dijon, here in France, is the place to be. Come and join us soon. It's even better in real life.
Hello. Well, thank you. Welcome to Burgundy School of Business. So as you saw, we are a historical campus. It was created in 1899. We do have two campuses, actually. We opened a new campus in Lyon in April. So this one was already open 10 years ago, but we have a brand new campus in Lyon. So right now we have two campuses. You can see that Dijon is south of Paris, 1 hour and 40 minutes by train. And the other one, Lyon, is 1 hour and 40 minutes from Dijon. So Dijon is in the middle of Paris and Lyon. And these two campuses offer the same program. We have bachelor degree, but we can also have MSc and master. But bachelor is taught in both campuses. So Dijon is a historical campus. It was created a long time ago, and it's in the middle of Burgundy. And Burgundy, I guess you know about vineyards, but it's also famous for gastronomy, cultural, festival, and cultural life. The asset of being in Dijon would be affordable expenses because, it's cheaper, as we said, than big cities. So, for example, to live in Dijon, it's cost about between 750 euros to 850, included accommodation and food. So this is much affordable. So you have the choice to choose a small campus in Lyon in a bigger city, or to choose a big campus in Dijon with a smaller city. So you have both choices depending on what you're looking for. What else about, so studying in Dijon, Dijon is, the campus of Dijon is situated in the center of Dijon. So it's really easy to live in. Almost all our students are living 5 minutes walking from the school. So you don't need to take a bus. You don't need to have a car. It's very safe city, and very nice. Studying in Lyon, the new campus is more like a digital campus, because most of the MSc programs in digital are taught in Lyon, but also the bachelor in English is fully taught in Lyon. You have the same services on both campuses, but as I said, campus of Lyon is smaller. Lyon is also known to be a very active city. So it's a strong industrial heritage, and it's kind of innovation hub in Europe. So probably you will have more companies based in Lyon, so it can be easier to find internship or to find a job. And it's very, as we said before, Lyon is very famous for student life. What to know about BSB? So as we said, BSB is part of Grande École, belong to Grande École, Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which means that we have a high quality of education. We are double accredited, ACSB and EQUIS, and we are among the best business school in the world with this accreditation with my colleagues. We are ranked also in the Financial Times and, Classement L'Étudiant. So it's very important for you to know that when you're looking for a school, you have to check this accreditation to be sure about the quality of the education. We do provide many services to students, so we decided not to be a huge campus. We have about 3,000 students on the campus, but we are really student-centric. It means that we provide many services. We have what we call a career booster, and this service is here to help you throughout all your schooling, from the moment you arrive, so to the moment you will be graduated. So you will need at one point to be trained for an interview, to prepare a CV, a motivation letter. And anytime you want, you can have a meeting with a coach. It's included in your tuition fees. So anytime you want to prepare something, you can have this appointment to be ready for job research. We do provide many offers of internship and job opportunities. We have over 9,000 offers per year. And we also organize many workshops for students to be in contact with company. We have a special career day every year with many companies who come to find students for job or internship. As we are a very old school, our alumni network is really important. So it will be also important for you to build your own network when it will be time for you to look for a job. And you can also be in contact with alumni during all your time that you're going to spend at BSB. So to be connected with companies, with our alumni or company who are partners of BSB. So about our bachelor, it's a 3-year undergraduate program. So it's fully recognized by the French Ministry of Higher Education. And it's the 2 first years you will have a generalist program, and after you will have to choose during the 3rd year specialization. The asset of the program is to have only small classes, not more than 40 students per class. So always face-to-face with a teacher. And so it's easier for students to know more about the program and to interact with the teachers, but also with the students. We don't have any classes in lecture hall, only for big conferences, as you saw in the movie, with big companies and famous people. But all tuition fees include all services. You will never have to pay extra fare to enjoy the career booster, the services, the association. Programs are fully taught. This program is fully taught in English, so 100% taught. As I said, so you will be able to choose specialization. And the good thing about having 2 campuses is that we can provide different specializations. So you can see that some are taught in English or in French, because sometimes you want to choose a French track. And depending on the subject, you will be able to move from Dijon to Lyon. For example, from the 2nd year to the 3rd year, you can switch to one campus to the other, or from Lyon to Dijon. So you can do whatever you want during these 3 years. What else? We also provide a master degree, MSc and MBA. It's just for you to know that after this bachelor degree, you will be able to follow with a master. It can be at BSB, but it can be, as it's fully recognized, in another country, anywhere. So we do have different Master of Science. So I'm not going to show you because it's not important for you. But so you saw this in the movie. We have many student association, 25. You can enjoy the fitness club. You can enjoy the studio. So all this is included. And as you are just in the center of Dijon or in Lyon, you will be able to enjoy the student life in an easier way. This is some pictures about. So how to apply? I already talked about this before during the joint presentation, but as I said, it's a very simple application process. So you have to apply online, then you have to fill in your application file, 100 euros to apply. Then you will have this interview, 20 to 30 minutes, to know more about your motivation, to check your plans, your professional plans or your personal plans, and to know if you are the good candidate for us and if we want to have you in our school. After that, you will receive a pre-admission letter, and once you're admitted, you will have to pay a deposit, 4,000 euros for this bachelor program, and then that's it. You are admitted, and then you receive your final admission letter. So it will allow you to go further in your Campus France process, as we talked before. This Campus France process is compulsory to get your visa. And you will have Campus France agencies all over the world to help you to go through this. So here is our team that can help you depending on the country you're coming from. And so we have some people from China, Africa, India, and Kyrgyzstan, Italian, and I'm the French one. So we are here to help anytime you want. You can schedule a meeting with us, connecting on our website. And you can also be in contact with our ambassador student. If you want a student-to-student, approach, don't hesitate to be in contact with them and to speak about our school. And I guess that's it.
This is not the right slide. Okay, thank you, Alfonso. Okay, so let me give you first some general information about the school, about Audencia Business School. So our school is 120 years old. We are ranked as the 6th best business school in France and 40th in Europe. As you can see, or as you saw in this video just before, we are a triple accredited institution. So these accreditations are AQUIS, AACSB, and AMBA, which are the 3 main international accreditations for business education. And we are among the 1% of business schools around the globe holding all 3. So as Isabel just said, it's really important to look for accredited schools when you're looking for a place to study. It really is a guarantee of the quality of the education that you'll get, and also of the prestige and the name that will come with the degree. So Audencia is located in the beautiful city of Nantes. So Nantes is in northwestern France, where we actually have 3 campuses. So in France, we do have another campus in Vendée, near Nantes. It's a region. In La Roche-sur-Yon, more specifically. We have a campus in Paris, and worldwide, we have a campus in Sao Paulo in Brazil, 3 campuses in China as well, in Shenzhen, Chengdu, and Beijing. So Nantes is the 6th biggest city in France. It's a very popular student city, only 2 hours away from Paris, and not so far from the Atlantic coast, which is nice in the weekends if you want to go to the beach and relax a bit. So the city counts more than 60,000 students. So it's a very dynamic city, and it's also an international friendly city. Where you will be able to enjoy a wide range of cultural activities, of concerts, restaurants, museums, and so on. The city is known for its high quality of life and also for its cultural heritage. Actually, the city also has been named European Capital of Innovation in 2019. And keep in mind, as it was already said before by my colleagues, that living in a city like Nantes also remains much cheaper than living in the capital, in Paris, for example. So a few pictures of Nantes and the beautiful castle in the middle. So a few rankings, of course. Audencia is highly ranked. As you can see, our programs have been ranked by the most prestigious rankings, such as The Economist, QS World University Ranking, Financial Times, etc. So here you can see mostly rankings for our postgraduate programs. So if you decide to go on with your studies after a bachelor's degree, of course, you have a wide range of possibilities at Audencia if you decide to stay with us. So corporate social responsibility, why do I have a slide on corporate social responsibility? It's because Audencia has a long-standing commitment to CSR and sustainability. We incorporate these values really in everything we do here at Audencia and in all of our programs. So all our programs have a link with CSR, and business for us, it's also a way to make an impact and make a change for the better. And the school is engaged in making the world responsible. As for your international experience, the school counts more than 6,000 students per year. And as you can see, 34% of them are international students. Half of our teaching staff is international as well. So our students come from more than 100 different nationalities, which really is an indicator of the diverse, the multicultural, and international context that you'll be experiencing here with us at Audencia, with students, but also with teachers from all over the world. So with this, you'll be connected to a global network. We have graduates working all across the globe, more than 30,000 today. And our job is also to connect you with that network as a student and as a graduate afterwards. So beyond that, we collaborate with more than 700 corporations looking to hire for their offices in France and internationally. So these 700 companies are local and international. So our Career Center will help you through the entire career development process. So which means that during your studies, you will have access to CV, to interview workshops, individual career coaching, personal development programs, and many information resources and online tools. And in addition, the Career Center organizes each year employment fairs with partner companies, shares with Audencia students and alumni job and internship opportunities. And they will also give you privileged access to different career events during the year. So you can see here, for example, a few example of companies, partner companies we are working with. Of course, you have a bigger list online directly on our website. So as for our academic offer, Audencia offers a wide range of undergraduate and postgraduate programs. So today I will give you more details about our undergraduate programs exclusively. But of course, if you have any questions later on about any postgraduate programs, feel free to reach out to me by email. I would be more than happy to give you more details. So let's start with our Bachelor in Management. So Audencia's Bachelor in Management prepares future managers for different professions in the fields of business and management by providing key academic skills, international exposure, digital expertise, global responsibility awareness, and professional experience. So the program lasts 3 years and offers an English track or a French track. It's your choice, it's up to you. It is extremely flexible in order to adapt to your academic and career goals, providing you as well with a choice of elective courses, specializations, in-company internship, and international experience, because you can decide to do an exchange in a partner university if you want to as well, or decide to do your internship as well abroad if you want. So the program is taught in Nantes. However, you really have the possibility to go abroad and to have an international experience thanks to internships and academic exchanges. So as you can see, the program also encourages an associative approach with social and humanitarian initiative, supporting projects that develop your commitment and openness as a future global citizen. And we do have 25 student clubs as well at Audencia Business School. So it's also something to take into consideration. And as mentioned earlier, our career services team will help you achieve your goals with support, planning, and training from the very beginning. So the program starts in September and it costs 8,150 euros per year, and scholarships are available. I will tell you again a bit more about that right after. 1 minute left already. So I'm just going to talk to you briefly about our BBA. This program is jointly developed by Audencia and l'École Centrale de Nantes, which is one of the best engineering schools in France. So both schools have joined forces to offer a scientific and a management program that directly addresses new company needs. So it's a 4-year degree entirely taught in English. Students are required to acquire a minimum of 15 months of international experience during this program and will spend 2 academic semesters abroad in Casablanca, in Morocco, and in Shenzhen, in China. So the BBA prepares students to take on cross-functional management positions. They will acquire both strong managerial skills and advanced technical skills in the collection, analysis, and use of data for business performance. So the program starts in September and it costs 12,000 euros per year. Also, of course, we do have scholarships. So if you apply for the academic or the sports excellence scholarships, you can get up to 50% off on your first year of tuition. And this applies for the Bachelor in Management or the BBA in Big Data and Management. And of course, you can also apply for local scholarships directly in your country. In addition to that, the application process is very simple. You just have to connect on www.apply.audencia.com, click on the program of your choice, and just go on with the process. You already know the list of documents that you need to provide us. Isabel told us more about that a bit earlier, but basically you will need to provide us with an English test score, copy of your diploma, copy of transcripts. You will also need to provide us with a cover letter and a CV, and you will have an admissions interview. Thank you very much for your time. Do not hesitate to get in touch at international@audencia.com if you have any questions after this webinar, and feel free to follow us on social media, of course. I hope that I was able to give you as much information as possible. Thank you.
What unites us? At the American University of Paris, we've been finding answers to this question for 60 years. By engaging in liberal arts scholarship across cultures, languages, and disciplines, we work toward tangible solutions to global problems. And it all started here, at the American Church in Paris, where our first classes were held in 1962. Our founder, Dr. Lloyd A. Delameter, believed in an institution that bridges the gap between narrow nationalisms. He envisioned a place where students could move beyond the borders and beliefs of their home countries and launch themselves into an increasingly interconnected world. We've now been the only foreign-accredited comprehensive university on French soil for 6 decades. We've graduated more than 20,000 students who now live and work in 145 countries worldwide. We call our students global explorers because they embrace the intellectual adventures and cultural challenges inherent in studying outside their home countries.
Good evening. My name's Tim Rogers. I'm the Director of Admissions at the American University of Paris, and I'm going to run you through just a brief introduction of the university and the study opportunities. The first thing to say that in slight contrast to my three colleagues this evening, whilst we're part of the French education system, we are very much a US education system style university. And as part of that, we have some clear differences from our French colleagues. The first is that we are an institution, both at the undergraduate and graduate level, that specializes in the liberal arts. Those are the subjects for which you are focused in on a broad range of areas such as arts and humanities, social sciences, and less so in areas such as the hard sciences and engineering. We have majors and minors, so you have the ability to concentrate in one or two areas, and we obviously have graduate programs both at the certificate level, but more particularly at the master's level. We do not offer PhDs. There are three things that typify the American education system. We're multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary, so we see how subjects relate to one another, and we give you the flexibility to be able to explore how these different disciplines, these subject disciplines, relate or affect one another. We also have a much wider choice than many other European institutions. So when you come into a university such as the American University of Paris, you will be having quite a wide choice in your first 18 months, your first 3 semesters, and then that begins to narrow much, much later. What that allows you to do is not necessarily have a fixed idea of what you want to study for the next 3 or 4 years. You can try along our general education program a series of subjects and then refine your choices before you decide on what your major or your minor subjects might be. One of the things that all of the institutions tonight have at the heart of their curriculum is the focus in on developing transferable skills amongst our students, and also developing aspects of what we call experiential learning, most particularly in the opportunities to have or participate in internships. The American University of Paris, as the video just mentioned, is 60 years old. We're 60 this year. We have just over 1,100 students, which are split between 1,000 undergraduates and 115 graduate students. One of the things that's absolutely critically different about the American University of Paris is its complete international cosmopolitan student body. We have only about 15% of our student intake coming from France or having access to a French passport, but the majority of students are coming from outside of the countries. You can specialize in 26 specific subjects, and they can be complemented by another 39 different areas. These are the areas that we call minors. And another thing that really stands out about the American University of Paris is its intimacy. It's very much an institution that is focused in on giving students the opportunity to access discussion-based classes. So we have a very small staff-student ratio, something around 13:1 in most of our classes. We have 4 focus areas at AUP: arts and communications, science and psychology, business and economics, and politics and history. Our graduate programs are largely focused in on just 3 of those areas: arts and communications, business and economics, and politics and history. One of the things that is really important both about AUP but also the American liberal arts tradition is the opportunity that it tries to give you in real world learning, putting you in context where you can apply what you learn in the classroom to either the business place or organizations or work experience or volunteering. So again, like all of my 3 colleagues, we have a real focus on careers and internship opportunities, as well as leading into life after AUP. Although internships are not mandatory by any means, we now have about 95% of all undergraduate students taking at least one internship, and about 50% of our graduate students doing exactly the same. Internships are organized by the university, although we do require quite a lot of input from our students to actually go and interview and kind of professionally seek these opportunities. You will be interviewed for many internships, and there's a split between paid for internships as well as just for credit contributing to your degree internships. An increasing number of undergraduate students are seeking to do a second internship. We tend to see that students do not do an internship in their first year. There is enough of a transition between high school, wherever you're coming from, and university life. So internships are something that tend to be discouraged in the first year and encouraged from about the fall or the summer period in the second year at AUP. We are a private institution. We're fully accredited. We're recognized as a private institution under the French state, under the rectorat. We also have a specific professional accreditation, the RNCP, for one of our master's programs, the master's degree in global communications. That allows you to apply for a different kind of visa after graduation, which will guarantee you work rights for at least 2 years after graduation. We are a private institution. We do not receive subsidies from the French state. So we very much do, just as we have an American-style education system, we have an American-style fee structure. At the undergraduate level for 22-23, you will pay just under 34,000 euros for the year. That's 2 semesters. And for our graduate program, for the coming year, it's anywhere between 34,000 and 55,000 euros for the entire program. One of the things, however, that I think sets us apart is that because we are able to attract a lot of students that will pay tuition fees, we do top slice those tuition fees and reinvest them in our scholarship funds. In American terms, we call that financial aid. We have the largest scholarship budget of any institution on continental Europe. At the moment, we're giving about 4.8 million euros per year in financial aid. These are based either on your academic merit or your financial need. For most of our schemes, if you are applying for an undergraduate or a graduate place, we will automatically consider for our merit-based schemes. And then depending on the success or the outcome of that judgment, we then encourage you to start a second process, which is a specific application for financial aid. If you're an undergraduate student with access to a US passport, you can use the process that you would also use if you were applying for an American university in America, which is called FAFSA. And you also have eligibility for US federal and private loans. This year, we are certifying more than 10 million euros in US federal loans for those students that are eligible. We have a couple of specific scholarships that I'd like to draw to your attention. The first is if you're coming at the undergraduate level from the International Baccalaureate Scholarship Scheme qualification. The IB scholarship is automatic and is based on your point score in your final certificate. And that is ranging from a minimum of 7,000 euros all the way up to about 18,000 euros. Students who this year are coming from the French education system will be automatically considered for what we call the French Community Scholarship, which is up to 10,000 euros. And for those students that can demonstrate real engagement in an area of activity that is either related to their field of studies or something that they're interested in, for example, volunteer work or international volunteering, then we will also consider you for scholarships that are directly tied to the mission of the university. One of the wonderful things about AUP, just as my colleagues have outlined about their own campuses, is the AUP campus. One of the very special things about the campus is that we're absolutely located in the heart of the city, in the 7th arrondissement, in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower, flanked on our southern border by Napoleon's tomb in Les Invalides, and to the north by the River Seine. You'll see we're very much a university in the style, in a campus style as NYU in New York or the London School of Economics in London, where the buildings are in a focused area within the city. East to west, north to south is about, at the most, a 12-minute walk in either direction. We own most of our buildings, and those that we don't, we have full access and full long-term leases. One of the things, very much like Audencia Business School, that we have done and the Burgundy School of Business, is that we've redesigned the campus specifically to support the individual focus of the student. So our main buildings that are now back-to-back, the Combs Building and the Quai d'Orsay, are designed respectively as a student life centre and a student learning centre. The Quai d'Orsay is just 3 years old and is 8 floors and is completely focused on our integrated academic programme, where advising, where learning support, internships and careers advice are all located, as well as the Learning Commons, which is more often known as the library. These are pictures directly off campus from our main buildings. The view on the left is my walk to work every day of the week. The other thing that is important to say about AUP, and has been actually one of the few benefits of COVID for many institutions, and certainly for us, is that we have reconceived our housing offer for all students. Housing is mandatory for incoming first years, and it's encouraged for students who are also transferring in or visiting from other institutions. We've moved our model from shared apartments to small halls of residence located anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes away from campus on public transport. Also following the American style is that in the halls of residence that we control, we have resident assistants who will focus in on the pastoral care of students, as well as developing residence life so that students can integrate and make the most of their experience. We are adding new halls of residence in the coming months for the fall 2022 entry. And so you'll see that there's a wide variety of choices for students that are coming to AUP. Just wanted to wrap up with just a little focus on how we approach applications. So like my other colleagues, we very much focus in the academic level. In American terms, the entering GPA of undergraduate students is around 3.4 on the 4 scale. And for graduate students, you're looking at about 3.2 and above. But we actually focus in on the broader qualities of every individual application. So we read applications holistically, where we weigh each individual item together and how they might make the best of their campus experience. One of the things that allows us to do is for looking at students who perhaps have not reached their potential in high school or in their first degree, but show a real commitment to either a subject area or a real passion. So this is particularly true in things like social responsibility, sustainability, volunteering, leadership or engagement. And again, as you saw earlier, and I mentioned on the scholarships and financial aid, this is something that we then back up with the way in which we give students scholarship support before they come to AUP. And finally, just a word on deadlines. At the undergraduate and graduate level, we operate what is called rolling admissions. We encourage early applications wherever possible, but depending on the nature of the year and the program that you're applying for, there is some flexibility. But generally, we have at the undergraduate level for fall admissions, the early action deadline at the 15th of November, priority admission February the 1st, regular admission in the middle of March, and then late or international admission on 1st of April. It is true to say for us, the earlier you apply, the better chances you have of financial aid. But in the main, we also try and reserve some scholarship funding towards the end of the program. And so that's a brief presentation of AUP. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. And I would like to ask our presenters to come back on camera for the Q&A session. But first, I'm sharing the contact details for all presenters. We had many questions on the chat, so you might as well reach out directly to all of them if you have more specific questions. So we have all the contact details here. And first of all, I'd like to ask you, we had a question. I would like to ask how to apply to a French university without knowing French. Okay, who would like to develop on this first? Leah?
Yeah, sure. Well, as for Audencia Business School, if I talk for us, you don't have to speak French to apply at Audencia because all of our programs are entirely taught in English. As for the Bachelor in Management, indeed, we do have a French track or an English track, so it's up to you. If you don't speak French, then I would suggest that you pick the English track. And Campus France, the French embassy, they will not ask you for a French test score if the program is entirely taught in English. So it's absolutely not a problem. And you will be able to learn French during the program because French lessons are included directly in the curriculum of the Bachelor in Management. So you just have to apply to the Bachelor in Management on our platform. And thanks to your admissions letter, you will be able to apply after that for your visa without knowing French. And you will be able to learn French here with us at Audencia.
Perfect. Isabel, would you like to add up anything else on this?
Sorry.
Hello, Isabel?
Yeah, no, it's just the same for Burgundy School of Business. We don't require any French level if you're going to study a French track, an English track, sorry. If you choose a French track, of course, you will have to provide a French test, but and it's not compulsory to know about French, but you will also have French lessons when you reach the campus.
Perfect. So another question, Tim is not here, and also Pauline had to leave, so you can see her contact details there as well, so you can reach out to her directly. Another question that Leah already answered on the chat, but I'm addressing this to you, Isabel. What's the percentage of international students enrolled in your university for bachelor programs?
We have more than 25% of international on our campus, and it's about the same for the teachers. International teachers are about 25% international.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Another question coming in, of course, is about scholarships for universities in France for international students. So if you could develop a bit more about where students can get this information and the sort of scholarships available. Leah?
Yeah, sure. Well, if you connect on audencia.com/scholarships, you'll see that we have really the details for all of the scholarships offered in our school, specifically for the Bachelor in Management and the BBA in Big Data and Management. We do offer the Academic or Sports Excellence Scholarship. With this scholarship, you can get up to 50% reduction on the tuition fees of your first year. And how to apply? Well, it's very simple. Actually, when you will apply for the program directly on our platform, which is www.apply.audencia.com, you'll have one form to fill in your application directly. So it's going to be a form dedicated to your scholarship request, your scholarship application. And you will have to send us an essay and to develop the reasons why you think that this scholarship will help your study project, your career goals. Why do you need it? You will need to detail a few different things. You will have the list of the requirements directly on our platform. But what's easy and practical is that you will do everything on the same platform directly. And as I was saying earlier, you can also apply for a scholarship directly in your country because locally, each country also has scholarships to offer to its students. So depending on where you are, I would suggest you to contact your local Campus France office.
Thank you very much, Leah. Isabel, would you like to develop on this?
So we do provide scholarship from 25% to 50% discount on the first year of the bachelor program. So we don't have any additional process when it's time to apply for scholarship. Any candidate admitted to our program is considered for the scholarship. So it's merit-based scholarship. So we're going to check, of course, the academic background. We also will check motivation letter, CV. That's why it's very important to have good documents in the application file. And then also the interview will be really, really important. So we're going to check the motivation. We have a very holistic way to select students. So we're going to see if the motivation is here, if the student is hardworking. So, and as I said, we have a committee every month. So we have rolling admissions. So every month we are considering the admitted students, and they know if they have a scholarship within a few days after the committee.
Thank you very much, Isabel. Tim had to leave us. He had some connection issues, but here's his contact information as well. And just I will ask you some final remarks to close this webinar because we're running out of time. Leah?
Well, maybe I would conclude just saying that indeed what's very important, whether it is for the scholarship application or your application for the program itself, it's really important to have the documents complete, to be precise on every form that you will fill in for your application, and to respect the deadlines. It's something super important to be considered, and yeah. That's it for me. And you are more than welcome to apply at Audencia. Of course, if you have any additional questions after this live, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be more than happy to guide you in the process.
Thank you very much, Isabel.
Yeah, I would say the same. The application is really important. Take your time to write a good motivation letter, to have a good CV, because we're going to check this really carefully, and to be ready for the interviews. The interview is so important that you have to get ready, to have to be in good condition, take the time to be alone in a room, not with all the family or your friends. Sometimes it happens, so it's kind of strange, but so take your time, be prepared. Do this before. You have to check as if you are somebody in front of you and answering question in the real time. And we recommend you to apply not at the latest, deadline. Our deadline is July 15th. So it's still a long time, but sometimes application, visa process can take a lot of time in some countries. So sometimes it takes like up to 2 months. So to feel secure and not to be stressed too much, you should apply, I guess, April would be the latest date to apply if you want to be in a comfortable situation. And if you want to speak with us, so don't hesitate to connect to our website, because we can schedule meetings with the students to help them for the application file, for the interview. So don't hesitate to contact us. We are more than happy to help.
Well, thank you very much for your advice. It's really valuable for the students attending. And just a final remark about our upcoming study abroad virtual fair on February 24th, where you'll have the chance to meet up with many universities from across the globe, talk directly with them and ask questions about scholarship, admission processes, and programs offered. Thank you very much for watching us. Merci beaucoup. And have a nice evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.